That I've learned that really kind of blew my mind was growing up, going to school. Every year we have history, and every year in history you learn about Europe. You learn about slavery in America, for like 1 week, 2 weeks. But mainly you learn about Europe, which is important because it's a European country, so learning about Europe does teach us something about ourselves. But one day at my school they were having it was an international celebration day or something like that, and they were having capoeira, so I went and I played. I never played it before, but we learned, and it was just so much fun. I had so much fun. And one of my friends, she's, like, pro-black. And so at the end, the gentleman asked us if we had any questions, and of course she was like, well, where did this originate from? And he was like telling us, it originated from the slaves when they were cutting the, I guess the sugar, or working in the fields. They do the swooping motion, which is where the jingle came from, and blah blah blah. And later I was like, why did you ask that? And she's like, well, she's just saying how like a lot of things that we do, like capoeira, like a lot of Latin dance and stuff like that. A lot of things are they're rooted in the African culture, but you wouldn't know because nobody tells you. So, so I did my research, and lo and behold, thousands and thousands of African people had been sent to Bahia, which is a port in Brazil, and from Bahia they were sent to everywhere else within the United States. They were sent to the Republic of Dominicana. They were sent to even I have Mexicans who even vouch like, yeah, there were some slaves in Mexico too. So Puerto Rico, Cuba, everywhere south in North America, Africans were sent. Excuse me. And that's another thing, we say slaves, but they weren't slaves. They were people first, and they were turned into slaves. So African people were sent everywhere, and everywhere they had to fight, just as Martin Luther King fought for us. There's people in every Latin American country. There's people who had to fight, and we're still fighting. And in Brazil, the Afro-Brazilian people are still the poorest, and they're still struggling. But it was just like really like it was like a revelation. It was just really mind-opening for me to discover that, and that there's such a large diaspora of people of African descent, and going through similar things, but let's finish that tidbit with you. So yeah, I would encourage anyone to like continue studies within that. There's so much to learn. I mean, there's so much that I don't even know, but it'll really, especially if you're African American, if you're of African descent, it will like really like blow your mind because it teaches you something about yourself. From that study that I did on Brazil, of course I did some studies on Africa and the different countries within Africa, and their culture is so rich and it's so beautiful, but you wouldn't really know that from growing up in the atmosphere that we grew up in. A lot of their culture revolves around dancing, celebration, oral storytelling, singing, and they just celebrate life. They're about celebrating life, and I was thinking like, if I'm on the train somewhere and I hear somebody singing, you automatically think like, oh, that's so ghetto. Oh, they need to stop singing. Why are they singing? You know what I mean? But it's like, what is ghetto? Wait a minute now. Like, what does that mean? Like, someone can't be rejoicing and celebrating and singing. Why not? Or a lot of, hello, a lot you know, my discoveries, like a lot of things revolve around dance, and it's like, if you see, now traditionally, like here, if you walk down the street and you see a black person dancing, you're like, whew, so ghetto. Where are we? Are we in North Philly? Because look, I'm dancing. But it's like, what's the matter with dancing? You know what I mean? Like, it just gave me a new outlook on life. Like, why can't we dance? Why can't we sing in public if we want to sing, you know? And then if you go to a lot of, I mean, that's how it is here. If you go to a lot of Latin American countries, it's different. People are singing on the street, you know, like every corner, people just having a good time. But, you know, I just was like, I just had a new outlook on life. I had a new outlook on myself. You know, like I could really say like I was proud to be black because I had something to be proud of. You know what I mean? And before then, I felt like I really didn't have too much to be proud of because everything that I had around me. I mean, not that I was walking around saying I'm not proud to be black, but you know, subconsciously, I realized that subconsciously, I wasn't proud to be African American because of all the negative stereotypes, which, you know, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. If we get some knowledge, we would be a lot better off, you know, get some understanding of history. So, are you ready? You need some time. Huh? Oh, 4 minutes. So this is Lloyd. Please give him a round of applause. There was some confusion on my part as to when the event was supposed to start. So I went through so I lost my original 2 musicians, and I went through about 10 others of, yeah, I can do. I can't do it. So, needless to say, I was pulling my hair out, I was stressed, I was worried, but it was a good day. Thank you so much. Bye. So this next song that I'm doing is called For Women. My name is Simone. Many of you may have heard it before. My skin is black. good these days because my parents were slaves. What do they call me? What do they call me? They call me peaches. These sound real good, don't they? Thank you.
Let Matt go up, and then Renee can come up with another song. I've prepared a lot of